Welcome. In the last lectures of the series of group theory, we discussed what is the group, and in this lecture here, what is the normal subgroups and its consequence. So, what is the normal subgroup? What is the definition of normal subgroup? So, definition. Okay, a subgroup H, a subgroup H of a group G, a subgroup H of a group G is said to be normal, is said to be normal subgroup of G, normal subgroup of G if for all G belongs to G, all G belongs to G and H belongs to capital H. G inverse belongs to H. Okay, so this is the definition. A subgroup H of a group G is said to be normal subgroup of G. So H is said to be normal subgroup of G. H is a subgroup of G. Then H is said to be normal subgroup of group G if for all G. So G is an element. All elements G belongs to G and H is the element of H. If G inverse belongs to H, then the subgroup H is said to be normal subgroup of G. So this is the definition. If G inverse is the inverse of G. So G inverse belongs to H for all G belongs to G and H belongs to H. Then the H is called, if this, then H is called a normal subgroup of a group G. Okay, so this is the definition. So then theorem 1. What is the theorem? Theorem, a subgroup H of a group G is normal if and only if G inverse is equal to H, exactly H. G inverse is equal to H for all G belongs to G and H is the element of H. Okay, so what is the proof? So what is the definition? So definition is what? H is said to a subgroup H is said to be a normal subgroup is a G inverse belongs to H. So this is the definition of normal subgroup. So what is the theorem here? A subgroup H of a group G is normal if and only if G inverse is equal to H for all G belongs to G. Okay, so what is given here? Let H be a normal subgroup. Let H be a normal subgroup of G. Okay, so that is given here. So what is proving here? So we prove that this G inverse is equal to H here. Then so what is this? So then by definition of normal subgroup H of G. So what is the definition? Then GH G inverse belongs to H implies that what? So GH G inverse belongs to H implies that GH G inverse is a subset of H. So this is equation number 1. Is a subset of H. Okay? GH G inverse is a subset of H for all G belongs to G here. Okay? So this is equation number 1 here. Also, G is an element of a group G. Then certainly G inverse belongs to G. Because G is an element, any element. So its inverse exists by definition of a group. So G inverse belongs to G here. So by pre-multiplying, so also G inverse, okay? Then if G is an element of G, then what is the definition? GH G inverse belongs to H here. If G inverse is an element of G, then we can write this definition in this form. So that is G inverse H into G inverse, its inverse, okay, belongs to H. Okay. If we write G is an element of G, then GH G inverse belongs to H. Then if G inverse is an element, then we can write like that. Okay, so G inverse H, G inverse belongs to H here. Okay, so this implies that. So what is this? G inverse simply H. G inverse, its inverse is G itself. So belongs to H here. Okay, so again pre-multiplying by, so G into G inverse H, G into G inverse, so containing, okay, subset of. So if we multiplying by G to this and G inverse to this, so then, so what happened here? So G H G inverse, okay. So this is equal to what here? So what is this? So G into G inverse H. So that is G into G inverse belongs to GH G inverse. Okay? So then, therefore, what is G into G inverse? Is identity element. So properties of group. So that is G into G inverse is the identity element. So E into H into E belongs to what here? So this is H here, capital H, I think. G H. Okay. So what happened here? So this is capital H. You take here. So G H. So correct here. H. Okay. GH. So that is what happened? E. So that is G H G inverse. So that is what happened? H into H is a subset of G H G inverse. So this is 2. So from 1 and 2. So G H G inverse is a subset of H. Then set H is a subset of G H G inverse. So from 1 and 2. What happened? G H G inverse is equal to H. GH G inverse is equal to H. Hence the theorem here. So remember again. So a subgroup H of a group G is said to be a normal subgroup of G. So H is said a set H. So this is a subset of G. So H is a subgroup. And then H is also said to be a normal subgroup of G if G inverse is an element of H, belongs to H here. Okay. So this is the definition. So what is the theorem? A subgroup H of G is normal if and only if G inverse is equal to H. So that is proving here. Let H be a normal subgroup of G. So that is given. So then prove that this here. Okay. Then prove that this. So what happened? So by using definition of normal subgroup, so that is G inverse belongs to H here. Belongs to by definition. So this implies that G inverse is a subset of H for all G belongs to G. Also, G is an element of G, implies that G inverse is also element of G. If G is the element, small g is the element of G, then G inverse must be element of G. So then by definition, again by definition, so G inverse H, G inverse, its inverse is belongs to capital H. Okay. So then this is a very simple simplification, and we get from 1 and 2. So G inverse is equal to H. So we prove this theorem here. So what is the theorem 2? What is the theorem 2? Theorem 2. A subgroup H of a group G is normal if and only if every right coset cosets of H in Z is a left coset right coset of H in G is a left coset of H in G. So this is a very simple theorem here. What is the proof of this theorem? So subgroup H of a group G is normal if and only if every right coset of H in G is a left coset of H in G. So if H is a normal subgroup of G, then we prove that. What happened? Then we prove that, so something GH is equal to HG. GH is equal to HG, where G belongs to HG. So we proving this. So if H is a normal subgroup, then prove that left coset is equal to right coset. So that is proving here. So left coset is equal to right coset. So we know the definition of a right coset. Okay, so we already discussed about what is the right coset and left coset here. So okay, proof. So what is given here? Proof. So what is given? Let H be a normal subgroup of G, a normal subgroup of G. Then we prove that GH is equal to HG, means left coset is equal to right coset. Okay. So then, so by theorem, above theorem, just we taken theorem 1, by theorem 1. So what is the theorem 1? So G inverse is equal to H for all G belongs to G here. Okay. So just we prove this theorem. If H is a normal subgroup, then we prove that G inverse is equal to H for all G belongs to G here. Okay. So this implies that what happened? So G inverse into G is equal to HG is equal to H into G here. So this implies that. So what happened here? So GH, so G inverse. So using properties, so something associative property, existence of inverse, and so on. So using those property, we write those steps here. So very simple. So GH into G inverse into G is equal to HG. So what is this? This implies that GH into E. So this is the identity property, existence of inverse is equal to HE, and then we use the identity property of the group. So GH into E is H itself. So this is identity property. So that is GH is equal to HE. HG. Here is the proof here. So this implies that, so what happened here? So hence every right coset of H is equal, hence every right coset of H in G is left coset of H in G. Okay, so proof is very simple. So this is a necessary part. If H is a normal subgroup, then prove that this is equal to this. Okay, if H is a normal subgroup, then prove that GH is equal to HG. So left coset is equal to right coset. So conversely, we prove that here. Conversely, suppose every right coset, suppose every right cosets, so conversely, suppose every right cosets of H in G is left coset of H in Z. So this is the taken here. Okay. So then we prove that H is a normal subgroup. Then for any Z is an element of group Z, so then Z is an element of Z. So what is this? Suppose every right coset of H in Z is a left coset of H in Z, means GH is equal to HG. So that is, this implies that what happened? GH is equal to HG. Because right coset is equal to left coset. So that is given here. So this implies that GH, G inverse, multiplying this by G inverse. So this equal to H, G into G inverse. Okay. So this is very simple one. So this is simple. So what is G into G inverse is, so what happened here? So this is, okay. So this implies that GH, G inverse is equal to H into G inverse. So then what happens? So some associative property using that, we write this. So this implies that GH, G inverse is equal to HE. So that is GH, G inverse. So H into E is H. Hence the theorem first. And if GH, G inverse is equal to H, then H is a normal subgroup. This is theorem 1. So this is the definition. With theorem first, if GH, G inverse is equal to H, then H is a normal subgroup, and we prove this. So this is a converse part. Therefore H is a normal subgroup. Normal subgroup. Hence the theorem. First we take an H is a normal subgroup, then prove that the right coset is equal to left coset. So this is if part. Now what is the only if part? If right coset is equal to left coset, then prove that H is a normal subgroup. So proofs are very simple here. Okay, proofs are very simple. Then, so we check here what are the properties of normal subgroups, that is the consequences of normal subgroups. Okay, so corollary. What is the corollary? Every subgroup of an abelian group is a normal subgroup. So that is the proof here. So proof is very simple. So what happened here? So what is the abelian group? So something G star. So G is a non-empty set. Star is a binary operation. Then G star. So set G is called a group if it satisfies the axiom. So property 1, that is the closure property. Second, associativity. Third is existence of identity, and fourth is existence of inverse. Then the structure, this G star, algebraic structure G star is called group. Okay, so the group with additional property, so that is commutativity. So that is something A and B are the elements of G. Then A and B are elements of D. Then A star is equal to B is equal to B star is equal to A. So this is a commutative property. So the G group with commutative property, the group G is called abelian group. So we repeat here the definition of what is the abelian group here. Okay. So what is the corollary? So every subgroup of an abelian group is a normal subgroup. Okay, normal subgroup. So proofs are very simple. So there are many consequences of a normal subgroup, but the proof of that corollaries or consequences or properties are very simple one. Okay, proof. Let G be an abelian group, that is given. Abelian group, and H be a subgroup of G. H be a subgroup of G. Okay, then for any G belongs to G, then for any G belongs to G, and so H, small h is an element of H. Any element we have. So what happened here? GH, G inverse is equal to GH. So H is the element of set H here. Okay, H is the element of set H. So GH, G inverse is equal to, so this can be written as H G inverse. So we can write this in this form. So that is, so this into this, so that is G into, so this is associativity. Okay, so this equal to, so what happened here? So G into, so H G inverse can be written as G inverse H. H G inverse can be written as G inverse H. Since G is an abelian group. G is abelian. Abelian means commutative property is there. So H G inverse is equal to G inverse H. That is commutativity. So that is okay. So again using associative property, so this can be written as G into G inverse into H. Okay, so this is equal to E into H. So this is E into H. So associativity. So this is inverse property. So this is identity. So G inverse is equal to H. So we take here capital H in the theorem, but H small h is also element of that H. If G inverse is equal to H, so that is, this implies that, so G inverse is equal to H. Then, so what happened here? So what is this? So H belongs to H. So for all G belongs to G. Okay. So then what happened? So this is by theorem 1. G inverse is equal to H. Then the subgroup H is a normal subgroup. Therefore hence H is a, by theorem 1, H is a normal subgroup. Okay. So very simple definition. Okay. G is a abelian group and its subgroup H is also a normal subgroup. G is a abelian group and H is a subgroup of G, then H is a normal subgroup. Yeah. So proof is very simple. Okay. So we take some results of related to normal subgroups. So there are many results. So just we take a simple results. So what is the theorem there? Theorem. The intersection of any two normal subgroups the intersection of any two normal subgroups of a group is also a normal subgroup. So what is the proof here? Simple. There are two normal subgroup. We take its intersection. So this is also normal subgroup. Let G be a group and H and K be normal subgroup. Be normal subgroups. Okay. So let G be a group, then H and K be a normal subgroups of G. Okay. To prove that H intersection K is normal subgroup. Okay, that is proving here. So proof is very simple. Since E, so identity element, so E is an element of H. Also E is an element of K. Then this implies that E is an element of H intersection K. So E is an element of H, E is an element of K, then E is an element of H intersection K. Therefore, H intersection E is a non-empty subset of. So therefore, H intersection K is non-empty subset of G. Okay. So now we prove. So H intersection K is a normal subgroup. Okay. Let G is an element of G. So small g is an element of a group G, and H is an element of H intersection K. G is an element of G and H is an element of intersection K. Then Then what happened? H is the element of H intersection K. So if this, so this implies that, so what happened? So that is H is the element of H also, and H is the element of K. By okay, H intersection is there. So H is the element of H also, and H is the element of K also. Yeah, okay. Since H and K are normal subgroup, are normal subgroups, so that is given here. Subgroups of G, subgroup of group G. Then what is the definition of normal subgroup? So that is therefore GH G inverse. H and K are normal subgroups. Okay. Then H is the element, small h is the element of H also and K also. K also. Then by definition, GH G inverse belongs to G H, where G belongs to G and H belongs to H here. Okay. So also, and GH G inverse also belongs to K. Okay, H is a normal subgroup, K is a normal subgroup. Then by definition, so G belongs to, for all G belongs to G and H belongs to K. Okay, so this implies that what happened? So this implies that, so G, H, G inverse, so this is the element of H, so this is the element of K, then clearly, so G, H, G inverse belongs to H intersection K. Okay. Hence, H intersection K. Hence, by definition of normal subgroup, H intersection K is normal subgroup. Normal subgroup. Okay. So this is a very simple proof. So when the intersection of any two normal subgroup of a group is also a normal subgroup. We stop it.